The two main theme parks in the UK are of course Alton Towers and Thorpe Park, but if we put them both against each other, which one is better? Is it Alton Towers with coasters like the Smiler and Wickerman alongside amazing dark rides like Curse at Alton Manor and of course the Egg Viewing Museum? Or is it Thorpe Park with rides way taller and faster like Stealth and the Swarm, but also way more flat rides like Samurai and Vortex? Who knows? So today I'm going to put these parks up against each other in certain categories that usually make a good theme park, and I'll give a point to whatever park wins whatever category. Eventually, alongside my opinion and your guys' opinion, we'll come up with the full summary and the final decision. Oh, it's going to be so epic. And if you do go on to enjoy this video, then please be sure to subscribe to the channel. We're edging closer to 50,000 subscribers, so any help towards that milestone would be greatly appreciated. So, the different categories. What are we going off here? I've basically created a list of 11 different categories. Now, obviously 11, it can't be an even number because otherwise we'll have a draw. Of course, we can't have a draw. We need one definitive answer. To name a few of these sections, there's going to be which one has the better rides, the facilities, the food, the drink, the oxygen. Which one can you breathe better at? But I will showcase and name each one as we go along, and they will all make sense. I believe in myself. And as much as throughout this video I'm going to be stating facts and facts only, right up until the end. If you do disagree with what I say, then please exit to the left. There is no escape to the right. Let's get into this debate. Now, both these parks, as you are well aware, unless you live under a rock, are home to some of the best coasters we have in this country. Obviously, over at Alton Towers, you have Nemesis, technically, the Smiler, Oblivion, Wickerman, Octonauts, and loads more rides that cater for all ages, you know. The demographic is very widespread across the Alton Towers resort. And in that, there's so many different world record breaking coasters, or the first of their kind sort of thing, you know. So the uniqueness is off the scale in that coaster lineup. As for Thorpe Park, they have a lot of taller and faster rides per se, more thrilling ones than they do more unique. Obviously they have the likes of Colossus, which is the world's first 10 looping roller coaster, and then speaking of height, they also have the Swarm, which is 127 feet tall, and then Stealth, the main centerpiece of the park, don't know why I didn't say it first, standing at 205 feet. Now obviously when talking about coaster comparisons between Thorpe and Towers, you can't really deny the fact that Towers literally can't build as tall as Thorpe can, which is an L for them. But as said, that means that Towers have to create a unique way, a very different approach to a normal thrilling roller coaster. And no, they do not just market to the thrill market as Thorpe Park do, because you know they also have the family coasters like 13 and the Big Bot ride. They cater for that younger audience who may just be getting into riding bigger roller coasters. Those are first stepping stones into the thrill market. Thorpe has that in the form of a family indoor roller coaster themed to The Walking Dead and Flying Fish. Two strong contenders there, my friend. I think Thorpe's coasters do a great job at giving that thrill aspect, but Towers has that plus the family and also kids coaster aspect too. So I'm gonna have to give that to Alton Towers. That point goes to them, I'm afraid. Thorpe Park lovers, do not kill me. Flat rides, flat rides, flat rides. You'd be damned if you said Alton Towers even stood a chance in winning this one. Literally, there is one area at Thorpe Park that has more flat rides than the whole of Alton Towers. I think that says enough. What do Towers have? They have the Retro Squad, which isn't permanent, so I'm not going to count that. A pirate ship in Blade, Marauders Mayhem, Enterprise. No, they don't even have that anymore. And that's about it. I can't name anymore. Meanwhile, Thorpe literally have an entire section in Lost City based on just pure thrill flat rides, and also they have Detonator, Samurai, and probably a few more that I've completely forgotten. So I think we know which one wins this one. For the love of God, Alton Towers, please add more flat rides, I beg. Now this is another easy one like the flat rides one was in my book. Or actually, is there a bit more competition in that one? No, there's really not. Thorpe Park, of course, has the amazing, enlightening Angry Birds 4D, and also has the Last Train. Last Train. Bloody hope it's the last train, Jesus Christ. Ghost Train is also at the park, and so is Walking Dead, if that counts. I'm not even going to acknowledge Black Mirror Labyrinth exists, because no. If we look further up north, though, at the Alton Towers Resort, we, of course, have an amazing and spectacular lineup of dark rides there. Opening this year, you had Curse at Alton Manor, and, of course, Nemesis Subterra came back too, which is a... those two rides, beautiful creation. And then as much as it closed this year, Hex, The Legend of the Towers exists. Oh, I've got to mention it. That ride is stunning in itself. And I can't forget they have Gangster Granny, and even the dungeons as well, just opposite. And if you look at Thorpe and you count Walking Dead as a dark ride, then I guess they're also getting Project Horizon, so that'll probably be way better than that. Easy win for Towers. Oh god, they just get easier. Let's think of the water rides that actually get you wet at Towers. You've got Congo River Rapids now, it's got the waterfalls on. You've got Battle Galleons if you're against your friends and there's loads of people on the boats. And I think that's it. Back down south though, you have the insane creation that is Tidal Wave. And I think that just gets you about 3 times more wet than Battle Galleons and Congo combined. Oh, and there's also Rumba Rapids, of course. Clearly, the superior water ride is Tidal Wave. Why, you may ask? It's pretty self-explanatory. Oh, a new challenger has appeared. This is actually quite a tricky one, and it's not about rides for once, although theming is literally part of rides, and I'm going to discuss that. I'm so full of shit. The theming of each park. Now, obviously, theming goes quite the distance because they're both theme parks. And if you start over at Alton Towers, just look at Wickerman. That's all that needs to be said. But the massive Marmalizer on the Smiler, what could potentially become a really well-themed Nemesis 13 as well, that's really well-themed. I think a lot of the coasters at Towers have very good theming, except from some. And obviously theming doesn't matter for coasters only, it's of course goes into the dark rides and just the general park atmosphere, which, talk of dark rides, oh my god, curse. Oh, it's better themed than the whole of London. I'm just saying. I mean, let's think of what Thorpe has that's really well themed as well. The Swarm is situated on its own island. It has loads of crash like helicopters and crash planes and fire engines, you name it, it's probably got it. It's a brilliantly themed ride. As is Saw, the ride, that's very well themed. Colossus has quite a bit as well, so does Nemesis Inferno, although Inferno's backside is very warehouse orientated. But it doesn't matter. General areas as well are quite well themed, like the whole of Amity is really nice to be in. But I think when it comes to rides and just general atmosphere of the park, I've got to say, Towers has it in the bag for theming. I don't really talk about events much on this channel, so this is quite exciting. And originally I have sat here and gone, oh, well, that's an easy Thorpe Park win, you know, they've got Oktoberfest, Carnival, Fright Nights, and they've got a very good plethora of events. But then you've got to remember that Towers also does fireworks, Christmas, and even like February half-term events. So there's quite a lot of variety on the Towers lineup. See, now I've brought fireworks and Christmas into it. Those are great points that probably stop Thorpe Park from winning a clean sheet on events. But I don't know. I'm going to give the points to Thorpe anyway. Oh god, you don't talk about Towers and food in the same sentence. That's not a good combination right now. Here's my recommendation. There's only 2 good places to eat right now at Alton Towers. Meanwhile, there are quite a few at Thorpe Park. You literally have Burger King and KFC. That's enough to just win it for me. Or you know what, in previous years, this one would have definitely gone to Towers, you know, because I really did like the operations at Towers. They were so much better than Thorpe's. Thorpe's were just on a slow, degrading slope downwards. But as much as Thorpe seemed to be going downwards before, they've also kind of been going up recently. And Towers have just plummeted rock bottom. I mean, everywhere you look, there's just complaints about the operations at Towers. And rightfully so. I would definitely say Thorpe Park right now has the better operations by a mile. Alton Towers, just add the point already. I'm not staying in a shipping container. It is time for the most important part, and that is your guys' opinions. Thank you so much to the many people that have submitted, and also those who voted in the poll I put on my community page. The poll result on that will be worth a point towards this debate, so what was the result? I haven't even had this poll up for 24 hours yet, but the clear winner on that poll is Alton Towers with 80% of votes compared to Thorpe Park with 20. That's another point on the board. It's time to read some comments. I think Thorpe is definitely more focused around the thrill market, whereas Alton Towers have got something for the whole family. You're so right. That's exactly what I'm saying. Both. Alton Towers is more immersed, but Thorpe has a better lineup, so it's hard to choose. I mean, I wish I could sit here and say both, but I know if I did say both in this video, I'd get massacred. I like how at Thorpe Park everything is much closer together. However, for the theming and overall atmosphere, Towers has to be better. Again, that's something I didn't even consider about the distance to walk to each ride. Thorpe Park is a whole lot more convenient in that aspect, especially with the Sky Ride shut, damn it. Towers have more complex restrictions and build more interesting coasters. Well, I just said that as well. I speak for the people. This year, Thorpe Park has better operations, and next year with Exodus, the ride collection will be better. Exodus versus Nemesis. I've already debated that, but Exodus will be insane. That drop, best in the world. Maybe. And yeah, the operations are just way better this year. So in summary, me personally speaking, from all of your guys' opinions and the facts that I have been absolutely factually stating, with all of it considered, I would say out of the 2, Alton Towers is the better theme park. It is a lot closer than it was in previous years. If you didn't know, I did do a video on this and I said Alton Towers is the easy winner. Thorpe Park is slowly making its way towards Towers. I don't know whether that's because Thorpe is getting better or Towers is just getting worse, but it's a close debate. What are your thoughts? Leave it in the comments below and be sure to subscribe. Good night.